All right, welcome everyone to this Thursday night's edition of Southern Woods and especially Waters tonight. We've got a big prop here that we brought in studio for you tonight. As you can tell, this, my friends and ladies and gentlemen, is a kayak. Happens to be a prime example of one of the fastest growing segments of our fishing world right now is kayak fishing. You're getting able to get in there real quiet, not stir up a whole lot, and catch those really big ones. If you've been watching the Outdoor Channel or the Sportsman's Channel, a lot of shows are turning to kayak fishing because you can slip in and slip out and get to catch some really nice fish. With me tonight is two fine representatives of Jackson Kayak. Jackson Kayaks are made right here in Sparta, Tennessee. So it's a great Tennessee-based company. Well, first off, let me introduce them to you. We have Jase. Jase, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you.
You've been with Jackson Kayak since the beginning.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Since the very started.
Since the very beginning of
So it's been going on since about the end of 2003, startup of 2004. So it's about 8 or 9 years old.
Yes, sir.
And you've been doing. What kind of work there do you do?
Now, I do all the mold work. I'm in the mold shop. I take care of all the molds, any revisions, polishing. If anytime something happens to a mold, do all the repairs and whatnot, all the maintenance of that. I've done everything there is to do there at one time or another.
At one time or another,
yeah,
you've been there.
I've been around the whole building.
And with you, you brought, or Ian Stewart is who I got to talk to. I talked to Ian on the phone, and Ian, tell us what do you do there at Jackson?
I'm our consumer service and our warranty. So when you call up and you want to talk to somebody, ask them, which boat's right for you, or you got an issue with your boat and we need to get you fixed up. I try to get you back on the water and get you fishing again instead of having your boat sit in your garage or anything. So. Well,
now I want to tell everybody, you can go to their website at JacksonKayaks.com and you can see their broad range, and they make many, many more models of kayak than just what we have here tonight. But what we wanted to do tonight was just talk about, since it's a hunting and fishing show, we wanted to talk about the fishing aspect of Jackson Kayak. Now they make some, and actually Jackson Kayak is family owned.
Yes, sir.
And you said the daughter and her husband just won the world freestyle?
She came in second in the women's.
Okay.
And her brother came in second in the men's.
All right, so second place then in the world
very
championships.
impressive.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's where you need to be.
But I tell you what, it's a different kayak, of course. And now we recently, just before the show, you told us y'all are getting ready to make a new line of
SUPs, stand-up paddle boards.
And we see them all the time now. There's all kinds of these stand-up boards, and people are going through some. And if they really had a depth finder, I think they'd be scared of where they are.
They make depth finders for all different sizes now.
They're in 60 to 100 foot of water on those little bitty boards.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I've done a lot of those here lately. They're very fun. They're very stable, easy to stand up on.
Well, now you're fishing on a prototype right now.
Yes, sir.
And I want to tell everybody, Jase is an avid muskie fisherman. He fishes mainly out of a kayak or out of the board.
Yes, sir.
But he does Collins River and
the Great Falls area.
Great Falls area.
Yeah, it's the Collins River. There's Rocky River. There's Cane Creek. All these tributaries that flow in.
Well, talk to us just a second while we got you on the muskie now. Because we got to talk some fishing. Yeah. But the muskie fishing, is it as awesome as everybody says it is?
Yeah, it really is, actually. We have a very, very fortunate, it's a small area that even have these fish. And we do have a very good population, and it's growing tremendously. And
you're seeing some big fish.
Yeah, I've pulled out a few 45, 46 inches this year. We've pulled out a few good fish this year. The TWRA's done a lot about trying to work with the growing up, tracking the rates and all, trying to hopefully turn this into a good muskie trophy fishing area.
Now, Ian, are you a fisherman or you're a pleasure?
I'm a pleasure boater, but I mean, I've done plenty of fishing, especially like around Hurricane Dock and stuff on Center Hill. Grew up over there, so yeah, I live half a mile off Center Hill, so it's nothing for me to go drop a boat in the water for an hour.
Well, listen, now I got a tournament coming up on Center Hill. I might not have to talk to you. I might have to take Ian out here and talk to him for a little bit. But you know, the thing is these things are quiet. One person can maneuver it. Yes. And I noticed, I went on the website, I've done a lot of studying on the website. You've got one model that handles 2.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So
Our
you can
tuna.
actually, the big tuna. Your fisherman can be up front and a guide could be in the back, or vice versa, or whatever.
It's very similar to this. It's just a little longer, a little wider, and it's got 2 of these seats in it.
Right, it's got 2 seats in it, but it's got enough stuff. And what I love about these is this one has a whole lot of storage in it. Now, this is the Barracuda, or the Cuda.
The Cuda 12.
12. They make a Cuda 14
yes, sir.
and a Cuda 10, right?
No. We have a Cuda 12 and the Cuda 14.
Right,
we have a Coosa.
Coosa.
That's the, these right here, some of them have optional, have a rudder and all. They're more for your lakes and, you know, things like that. The Coosa is designed more for your rivers. With current, the free-flowing, kind of those areas, it's got a little bit more rounded out hull. You know, it's not made for the longer paddles, such as this right here will track really well.
Like if you're going to go trout fishing on the Hiwassee or something like that, and you got a rapid in your way, that Coosa is designed just to bust through that rapid, get you to a nice calm fishing spot, and have you everything you need when you get there.
So it is important for them to call you in and kind of tell them that you kind of figure out, well, what are you wanting to do with it?
Where are you going?
Exactly. Yeah.
You need to know.
There's a different boat for different purposes.
You got to have. I mean, it's the difference in having a pontoon, a deck, or a ski boat, or a bass boat. You got to know what the person wants to do with it first, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah.
But now, is this one capable of going down the rivers and doing river fishing also?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. One of our prime fishing spots that I love to fish is the Duck River.
Yep.
I mean, voted #1 cleanest water in all the nation, and more for aquatic growth. I'm thinking this would be awesome.
This would be great.
Smallmouth.
Where I fish at on the Collins River is very similar to the Duck as far as the size, the area. It's not far from there, actually.
Right,
I've fished on the Duck as well. And generally, I paddle Coosa in that area of the river, but I've taken this boat as well, and yeah, I mean, it does great.
And now, I was amazed. Here's what I was amazed about. I read all the specs on these boats, and what I was really amazed by was the amount of weight they can hold.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll do camp out floats in them. We'll go and we'll put on a Saturday morning, pack our boat full of everything, paddle down river, find a good place to camp out, pull over, set up camp, have a good night, fish all night, get up next morning and float on out to another destination, pack it all back in.
Because I was amazed that you know, it could handle. One of them I read could handle up to 350 pounds, and then another one could. The big tuna can hold almost 600 pounds.
Yes, sir.
We had to accommodate for both riders, equipment, and everything like that. You know, the chairs are rated for 300 pounds. We know they can go a little bit above that, but you got to rate it a little bit.
That's right. You got to have a rating.
And you know, so the boats have plenty of excess storage after you count the rider. And our team is little bitty guys from our size all the way to 6'6" and 300 pounds. So I mean, we can accommodate.
6'3".
Yeah, we make a boat for everybody.
Well, I tell you what, we got to take a break and let you go visit some of our fine sponsors. When we come back, we're going to get into this thing just a little bit more. So hurry back to more of Southern Woods and Waters. This segment is being brought to you by Stan Sloan Zora Bait Company, where setting the hook is an everyday thing. This segment is being brought to you by Fate Sanders Marina. Come by and check out the jewel of Percy Priest Lake. All right, this week's Piece of the Week is being brought to you by Flowers Deer Processing. Hey, he's all ready for you guys come Saturday morning for Tennessee deer season opens. Flowers Deer Processing will be open bright and early, waiting on you to bring that big, large monster in. Hey, our first picture here. Got to show you, this is a good friend of ours. You've seen him on the show here before. He is our local Two Rivers Ford and Carlisle Tire Pro, Mickey Beck from Lebanon, Tennessee. He won the Bassmasters Weekend Series 2, the two-day divisional tournament on Old Hickory with a total weight of 25.86 pounds. In winning first place, that put him as points champion for the second year in a row, which allows him an automatic berth in the Bassmasters National Tournament on Sam Rayburn Lake in Texas, my hometown, in November. He caught his fish this weekend on a Hoppy's 1/4 ounce white buzzbait and a Hoppy's 1/2 ounce jig. So congratulations to our very own Mickey Beck. You're going back home where I'm from on Sam Rayburn Lake. All right, and this is Brian Carper. Brian Carper emailed me and said, Hugh, here's a picture of myself and Jerry the Hagman Haglage. This is a picture that was taken on 6/6 of 2012 on Percy Priest. We caught 125 crappies, including these 60 keepers. Boy, were they on fire. And look at what a mess of crappie there. I'll clean those any day, boys. And this is from a good friend up there off of Barren River Lake. This is Wes Sneed, Sneed Products. He said, Hugh, we just had our annual Firefighters Open Tournament at Barren River on September 15th, sponsored by Wendy's. All the proceeds went to help fund the Shop with a Firefighter program where firefighters take children shopping at Christmas. First place was Billy and Wes Sneed with a 3-fish limit of 11.37 pounds caught on a Sneed Products, of course, with a 3/4 ounce football jig. So congratulations, Billy and Wes Sneed. Hey, you can send your pictures to me here at Southern Woods and Waters, 474 James Russell Parkway, Nashville, Tennessee, 37219, or simply email them to me at hugh@southernwoodsandwaters.com. And let me tell you something, we got some pictures of some toads we're going to be showing. My own son-in-law came in with one, I hate to say, it was a little over 7 pounds. We're going to show it next week. We were on Lake Guntersville, and we actually had one of our members came in with one that weighed 8.88 pounds. So that's pretty good. That's frog fishing at Guntersville. We just left down there. The frog bite was just beginning to start to turn on a little bit. So, man, sneak out there and grab one of those 8 or 9 pounders with one of these. He might wheel you around a little bit. But it will be fun, I promise. All right, Jase and Ian, we've got, they're made right here in Sparta, Tennessee. It is a Tennessee-based company. It's been going on since about the end of 2003, 2004. Family owned by the Jackson family. There is a big market and a big interest right now in everybody wanting to get into this, especially talking about those boards. I'm starting to see those boards everywhere.
I really loving the board. I love the kayaks, don't get me wrong, but I've been on that board more than anything here lately.
Well, that's because you're 30-something years younger than I am.
Actually, I've introduced it to a lot of friends. People, you know, swore they could never stand up on a board. Have gotten them out there, and voila. I mean, me and my girlfriend, we get on it together and both stand up and musky fish off of it.
I don't know if I could musky fish off of just a board, because I get excited. I mean, I want to set the hook,
Yeah.
you know? And then I'm afraid I'll set the hook and splash and.
When you set the hook, like I said, that they will definitely pull you around for a minute. It's a lot of fun.
But now that's coming out, and y'all are coming out with that. That's on the drawing boards right now. Matter of fact,
it's in we've got our molds in. It's in the development of getting all the outfitting and all, and getting it actually on the market.
Just the finishing touches.
Yeah,
we're 2 months away.
We have our molds in. We have our product. We're just getting it all put together and
now,
to get it on the market.
To get to you, besides, well, they could get a list of dealers if they'll go to jacksonkayak.com. Just www.jacksonkayak.com. Beautiful website too, I might add. They've done a really good job. And it does explain everything about it. All the specs are on every single kayak that you have. There's links on there to go to different things. And what I found interesting is there's actually a bass fishing circuit now for nothing but kayaks. Mm-hmm. You have to have a kayak. That's the prerequisite. You have to fish out of a kayak. And so that's starting to catch on a little bit.
Huge. Biggest thing growing right now.
And the guys are just going crazy. I saw the main one was in Florida. Mm-hmm. But I saw where they're coming up the eastern seaboard now.
Well, we had one in Nashville last year.
Yeah.
We had some all through the southeast last year, and almost every dealer of ours hosts one now. And I mean, a lot of these people weren't even in the fishing industry a few years ago, and now it's the biggest part of their market.
And this is a great buy because, you know, if you're not able to spend 15 to some of these boats are $70,000. If you're not able to spend that for what you could buy a home for, this is a great alternative.
That, and it'll start up every Saturday morning.
This one will start.
Never have to go get gas for it. Never have to worry about plugs or anything like that.
I mean, I fish areas of the river that I would only dream of fishing in my bass boat. You know, because you can't get to them. It's shallow areas where I can access. And like I said, you can get up in those shallow areas and spot fish. Yeah, you can see as you're getting up and, you know, really target those fish.
A lot of guys, Jase, will ask, can I stand up in it? Can I fish standing up?
This is designed to fish standing up. When I'm out there on the river, I sit down maybe 10% of the time.
Okay.
I stand up, you know, when I set the hook, I stand up to the time I take the fish off.
Okay.
You know, they're very stable boats with, you know, just a little bit of getting out there, you know, and feeling for it. I mean, everybody I've had out there, I've had them standing up and fishing.
Now, we've got this one kind of rigged up for fishing poles.
Yes, sir.
This one being one that you actually have with a lure out in the water, and you're just hanging it out here to, this is a rod holder.
Yep.
But you got two right behind the seat.
You can actually use for trolling.
That you can use for trolling, or that could be, one could be a worm rod, one could be a crankbait rod,
it's
this
also,
could be a jig rod.
It's also, just for carrying excess. You know, usually when I'm out on the river, I like to carry a minimum of 2 poles.
Oh, yeah.
I've learned my lesson. You never take one pole fishing. You never take You're guaranteed something will break. So I always carry 2, and usually I'll carry 3 because I like to have a couple baits ready.
Oh, yeah.
You know, throwback baits. And so it's nice to have those poles, you know, out of the way.
The other thing I noticed about these is it's got a lot of places to tie stuff down and hold stuff. If you want to, like we were talking about before, you can put your tackle boxes back here. That'll hold those planos.
You got all these extra bungees there.
Yeah, it'll hold the planos. You bungee them down, they're not going anywhere.
Oh yeah, your big milk crate, if you're using the milk crate, you know, whatever you got, the 5-gallon bucket, sit right in there, no problem.
Carry my igloo cooler. Me back there all.
You gotta have that for those crappie, you know. Behind you here. But you got dry storage front and back that's got lids on them. So even if it does flip, they're going to be fine.
Yes.
They're not. They're sealable. You got now. Explain this one right here, because this is one that's sitting right in the middle.
This is a little gear area, and if you open those buckles right there, it pops right open, and you can access all the inside of the boat right here.
Oh, okay.
You know, you.
Well, we can't show everybody because it flips that way. But
you could fit, you know, breakdown rods.
Or you could put some extra dry storage in there.
It's more dry storage.
And we have an insert that goes down in there, so if you wanted it to be closed off.
There is also like a little console type insert you can put in there. It'll also block that area.
That and the top's really been good for mountain depth finders, fish finders, GPS, anything like that. We've given you those flat flush surfaces where you're cutting into that piece instead of cutting into your boat.
Now, that's what I thought this was over here.
Those are GoPro mounts.
That's for your camera.
For the GoPro camera.
When you land that fish, you want it rolling.
If you notice the logo there, Jackson has teamed up with GoPro. And now all of our boats that we make, we have GoPro mounts so that people can mount a camera.
That's an awesome idea right there. And not only can you have a great day fishing, but you have memory insurance.
You tell the story.
I prove I caught that fish.
Prove it.
Now, it's got its own. You got a water holder or a bottle holder or whatever you want here.
You got storage under the seat.
Storage under the seat, because that seat. Now we've got the seat laying down just a little bit because the camera couldn't see me. And
well, this is the low seating position.
This is the low seating position.
Okay.
And I'll show you just for a moment.
That's for when you're paddling around, you're getting to your destination, you want to be low, have that center of gravity to you, so that's how you get going to spots. But when you get to where you want to fish,
nobody wants to be sitting at the water level fishing. You want to get up off the water, makes it easier for casting, you can see better. You just loosen that up.
And then it sets right in those slots.
Loosen just.
It's got to loosen up a little bit.
Yeah, I got to loosen up just a hair more, tighten it down.
That, and it's completely removable. So let's say you are camping. You've got a chair with you. You don't have to pack a second seat.
And you got a whole higher seat.
You got a chair to carry camping with you.
Yeah.
Like I said, you got good storage there. Yeah, and the chair comes right out. Sit right next to the campfire.
and sit down and enjoy yourself.
That when you want to get up and down to stand up, we've got that leash right there that you see right by your hand.
Yeah.
So you grab the end of that and you pull yourself up with it. And more importantly, when you go to sit back down, you grab that leash because you don't want to just plop down.
No.
You grab that leash and you lower yourself down so you have something to hold the whole time.
Just a little strap, just kind of, instead of trying to push up off the boat and get inside, it just kind of lets you pull up nice and straight.
That is awesome. Now, what about this up front? Is this just another? Is this for hold the rod tips? That's what I was thinking.
If you notice, it's got a few of these channel
It's got these channels on
and
the
those
side.
are for the rods to be able to set in. These are bungees, so you can strap your rods down
And
so
then
they're
the
not
tip
falling.
just goes right in
And
there.
you can, they're there just to protect it. You know, going down the river, branches down, and you know, it just keeps you, from hanging in.
Especially if you're doing some night fishing, because you're not going to see all that foliage as you're coming up to it, and you don't want to get snagged up in it. So if you got it tucked up, no problem whatsoever.
Now, you really said something that I really want to touch on real fast. Night fishing.
Do a lot of it.
But you're supposed to have lights, right?
They make light kits for
They
them.
do make light kits.
All right.
You can get the battery light kits.
So when I stop those guys out there on Old Hickory at midnight that have these that don't have any lights, I can tell them they can go and get light
You can go
kits.
to Walmart and you can get your red and green and your white light, battery operated,
which you're
with
supposed to
C-clamp.
have, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope nobody out there is doing that. But you need them.
Yeah, it's safety. You got to be safe on the water.
You're safe. And your family expects you to come back. So be safe out there.
It's hard to get out of a boat on a kayak.
Oh, yeah. All right. Hey, we've got to go now and do our product of the week. This week's product of the week is being brought to you by Gateway Tire and Service Center. We sell tires for the way you drive. All right. I tell you what. I brought this especially for tonight because, like Jase was talking about, he said, I like to put my clothes in there and stuff in my tent, and I will go down the river and camp out. Well, guess what, Jase? I have something right here called a can cooker. Look it up. It's Seth McGinn's Can Cooker. Look on the website, Can Cooker. You will find out that this thing is great because you can set this up in the morning and go fishing, put it by the campfire, put your potatoes, your carrots, your onions, and all that good stuff, your deer roast, whatever you want to in here. Set it beside a little bit of water. It will steam. And in 4 hours when you come back and your dog tired from fishing, lunch is served. Nice. And it's done really, really great, really, really well. And all the nutrients that are in those vegetables and protein are still in what you're eating. So, hey, go to Seth McGinn Can Cooker and check them out. They'll be on our website also. But now we got to take a real break and we'll visit some more of our fine sponsors. We'll be right back. Get ready to call us on your phones. We'll talk to you in just a minute. This segment is being brought to you by Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency. Join us in preserving and protecting Tennessee's wildlife. All right, and Tennessee Wildlife has done a great job putting those muskie and keeping those muskie up there in at Collins and was it fall?
The Great Falls.
The Great Falls area of Tennessee. So we've heard several reports up there that guys are really catching some monster muskie, and it's the techniques you guys use that is so intriguing. So we're gonna get Jase up there and we're gonna do some shows with him out of one of these and see if we really can get led around by a muskie.
Yeah, actually, there was a 52-incher caught last year.
That's awesome.
Yep, a friend of mine got into that. Yeah, it was a beautiful fish.
Oh man! Now what do y'all catch and release?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I strongly catch and release. Muskie are a very sensitive fish, and these bigger fish are anywhere the bigger side anywhere from 8 to maybe 12 years old.
Oh yeah.
They've got some age on them, so they don't just reproduce rapidly like a lot of the other ones. So I'm very big in catch, photo, and release.
Well, now, it is law to where Tennessee law, can you actually take a muskie?
You can. In the Great Falls area, there is a size limit. I'm not sure if it's actually happened yet. It's supposed to be in the making of a change. At the moment, it is 1 muskie per day, 36 inches or larger.
Okay.
In a muskie club that I'm in, they're working to help with the TWRA to try to get that changed to a 45 or 50 inch limit or a possible catch and release only.
Okay.
to try to help
make.
There's a lot of people that really, muskies get a bad rap. Everybody thinks they're eating out all their fish and their crappie, and it's not. It's the muskies, you know, they do their part, but they're not damaging all the other populations.
I'd say if you're looking for a fish that's doing a lot of damage, that the spotted gar probably reaches more than any other fish out there.
Oh, yeah.
I would have to say the spotted gar takes its fair share. And then where I'm from in Texas, we had the alligator gar, and it was proven by Texas Parks and Wildlife, they eat their weight a day in fish.
Yeah.
So
the muskies don't eat like that. They're not a barracuda, like what everybody wants to come. You know, they may eat one large meal and may not eat again for a few days.
But overall, wouldn't you say that the muskie right now in Tennessee is probably the most fiercest fighter that we have?
That and the stripers.
Okay.
The big stripers. Muskie,
I bet you do catch a lot of big stripers.
Yeah, well, we do that as well. That's a lot of fun. The muskies are a really hard, sudden burst, and in the cooler months of the year when the water's cooler, they will fight long and hard.
Okay.
After a little bit, you will kind of wear them down, you know, and that's when you bring them in. Like the stripers, such as like this, they will tend to fight a little longer and a little stronger. Okay. But yeah, the muskies, they'll get, I mean, we'll have those big fish that'll jump 2-3 foot completely out of the water, somersaulting in there. It's a beautiful sight.
Awesome.
It's a beautiful sight.
That is awesome. All right. How many people in work there at Jackson Kayak?
Well, we started with 8. And that was back in '04, and at the peak of season this year, we had 126 folks full-time, and at the peak of season next year, we expect about 150, all here in Tennessee.
That is great. I'm going to tell you something. We have got to start. People wonder, well, how can we get the economy better? How can we get the economy better? Buy American for one. Oh, yeah. And buy what's in your own backyard. Yeah. Would be a great one.
Well,
all right.
That's a number of products on our boat here. Hey, we mold the piece here. Some of these small black parts you see on, we make them. But the things that we can't make, like these ram accessories, all ram accessories come from the United States.
That's right.
All Nalgene water bottles, United States. This chair and its parts come from North Georgia because we don't have the machines to make it yet. As soon as we do, we'll make it in-house.
All right. Well, hey, we got some callers, and let's go to Jimbo. Jimbo, how can we help you?
How you doing this evening, Hugh?
Hey, Jimbo Blair. Buddy, I got us a rig now, buddy.
I'm telling you, I'm looking at it. I'm recuperating from this weekend from Kentucky Lake. That looks like a meal full special.
Doesn't it, though?
If you can put it in a boat ramp where there's a meal full.
Oh, this would be awesome.
Just ease it out to the meal full and throw a rat. Oh, it'd be deadly, wouldn't it, you?
It would be, Jimbo. Hey, while I've got you on the phone, I got to ask you a question. And I know, ladies and gentlemen, it's rare, but I like to ask Jimbo now, because Jimbo, Dayton, and a few others went to Kentucky Lake. Y'all saw a lot of grass on Kentucky Lake.
Oh, Hugh, a lot of grass. I'm a Goodlettsville guru, but I'd rather drive the hour less drive to Kentucky Lake than I had Goodlettsville, because you wouldn't believe the fish we caught on Kentucky Lake this week. We had 3 over 6 pounds.
And I heard that y'all each probably caught over 40 fish apiece.
Oh, easy, Hugh, easy.
And that was every day. That's
Day.
great. Kentucky Lake really is coming on strong, though, isn't it, Jimbo?
It's coming on strong, Hugh, real strong.
But I still say that the rivers that we have here in Tennessee are probably the most unsung heroes that we have, because people don't fish them.
People don't fish them, Hugh, exactly right.
Some of the biggest monster smallmouth I've ever laid my eyes on were in the Duck River.
Oh, yeah.
There's several more little, not rivers, access creeks like the Cypress.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir.
I can't remember a few names. The kayak, you can go down in it. You can catch smallmouth out of the creeks that's 3, 4, 5, or 6 pounds, Hugh.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Don't realize that backs up like Kentucky Lake, Barkley.
People don't realize that. But it's a lot of fun. But, Jimbo, thank you so much.
Thank you, but I tell you, they got an awesome looking rig for the Caney Fork River or any creek fish. Let me one question, Hugh. Does that boat have to be registered? Do you have to have numbers on that boat?
If there's no trolling motor or no gas motor, no motor.
No motor.
then it does not have to be.
It
Not
does
in
not have
Tennessee.
to
Not
be-
in Tennessee.
Not in Tennessee. It does not have to have registration.
But it does have the Coast Guard numbers on it, and it is ready to register in the states if you weren't in Tennessee. If you're in Illinois, Ohio, Oklahoma,
they
one
require
of those states.
Okay. All right. So Jimbo, it's not here in
Hey,
Tennessee.
tell Miss Joy that big old bucket you have would make some good dessert on the campfire, I bet you.
I'll do it, buddy. Thank you, Jimbo. And we got Bobby. Bobby, how can we help you?
Yeah, I was wanting to ask you about, you was just talking something about the Gunnersville down there. We're going down next weekend, and I was wanting to give a little info. Do you know anything about the Browns Creek area down there? I'll hang up and let you comment. Thanks.
All right. I don't know about Browns Creek, but I can tell you that Mud Creek was holding a bunch of fish, and also another little creek was right above Mud, and that is Crow Creek. Crow Creek was holding a few good fish. And another one was Town Creek. And let me say one thing about all three creeks. If you're going down there, frog is what everybody's throwing, but I'll tell you a secret. Don't turn away a crankbait, because the crankbait worked real well. So if the frog bite just all of a sudden shuts off, you might grab a crankbait, because and one that looks like a shad, and you ought to do really, really well. Okay? So we appreciate that. And Jerry, how can we help you tonight?
Yeah, Hugh, I may have told you this before, but I caught a 46.5-inch muskie on a 200 series pearl white bandit.
Ooh.
Nice.
Now that's nice.
I caught that in St. Creek.
In St. Creek.
On Center Hill.
On Center
Oh,
Hill.
yeah.
Yep. Yeah, they have them in Center Hill.
The first ones I ever caught, though, was up in the Rocky and Collins River.
Yep, that's where I was.
Now that's where Jase
That's the
fishes.
Great Falls area. Actually, and in Center Hill, they've never stocked muskies in Center Hill. That's below the dam of the Great Falls area.
Yeah.
All of those fish, and they're starting to find that there's a good population down there. I do fish down there myself as well in the early spring and stuff during spawn. That they're, it's washed through from the dam and stuff. The fish that have survived and are
Right.
starting to reproduce and populate down there in the sandbar area, the Center Hill.
So they are a naturally producing fish,
They
right?
do produce naturally, but it's slow.
It's slow. Okay. All right.
Me and the partner of mine, I've got night crawlers in the yard when it rains,
Yeah.
and me and a partner of mine, we caught 52 keeping Kentuckys one day and went back the next day and caught 22 more
On Center Hill?
on Center Hill. Of course, you couldn't keep at the limit, but we sure had a lot of fun.
Well, I tell you what, email me and let me know whereabouts. I got this tournament. I'm not so scared. I'm not scared. I'll fish for Kentuckies. But I sure appreciate it.
Do you know where Tony Cave is in St. Creek?
I know where St. Creek is.
Okay, up in the head, make a curve to the right. It's right there on your left.
You got it. I can find that. All right. Well, I sure appreciate it.
Okay, Hugh, you and your partners there have a good rest of the evening.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that. We appreciate all those fine calls tonight. We really do. And listen, if you want to know more about Jackson Kayak, I keep stressing this because I want people to go look at them, because on the website, it is awesome. First of all, your website. Second of all, man, there is more models than you can shake a stick at almost. There is a duck hunting model too. I saw the duck hunter, and it's a camouflage version. Guy was actually paddling along with his Labrador up front, his shotgun, in a safe place. But he's actually duck hunting from it.
Yep.
So
The Orion 10 and the Orion 12.
that's right. And so
I've done some squirrel hunting out of them a little bit.
See?
I'll take in the falls when I'll be out musky fishing. I'll take my rifle with me because you'll see them all
You'll
the
see 'em
time.
all
and
over,
I'll pop
yeah.
a few, paddle over, throw them in my boat, take them on home with me. It's great.
Put them in this can cooker
Yep.
and make you some squirrel
Exactly.
dumplings.
There's good dumplings while I'm fishing.
That's right. But go to jacksonkayak.com and check them out. I'll tell you what, I'm really impressed with a Tennessee-based company that comes out with such a fine product, because I'm going to tell you something, this is a great, great product. I know a lot of people can't see it out in the audience, but if they'll take time to go look at the internet, they can get some close-up views of them. Y'all did some real good pictures, so great, great job that they do. Hey, we've got to go now and do our tip of the week. This week's tip of the week is being brought to you by Interstate Batteries of Music City, located at 3729 Highway 109 North in Lebanon, Tennessee, home of your alternative power source. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this coming Saturday opens Tennessee's archery segment of the deer season. We've talked to you a couple of times in the past few weeks, about watching out for ticks, been watching out for mosquitoes. We have heard a couple of cases of the West Nile virus being right here in Tennessee. And heaven only knows us outdoors people are more susceptible to getting bitten by one of them than anything. But there's something else you need to understand, and that is, if you are successful, and we hope and pray that you are, opening day or opening weekend, you're able to bag that monster deer you've been looking for, get you some of these field dressing gloves. We don't go, and we've hunted, my family, we've hunted for years and years and years. We just will not field dress one without these field dressing gloves. And there's several reasons for that. There might be a broadhead in there. There might be a stick. I have seen sticks in deer that could actually puncture your skin. Broadheads in there. These are going to help protect that. It's going to protect your blood from mingling with that deer's blood, because I don't care how much you wash a deer out once you field dress, you got to get to that point first. These field dressing gloves are going to help you do that. Cheap, inexpensive, pick them up at Bass Pro Shops or your local tackle store. But remember, don't field dress without these. And it's something else you might want to carry. If it gets warm with you, carry black pepper, put it along the wounds, and that'll keep the flies from getting on your deer. Just use black pepper. All right, so hey, we got to take another break. When we come back, Joy has two fine looking little gals over there, and she has made a treat and a half. You can make your candy right there at home. Hurry back to more of Southern Woods and Waters. All right, welcome back everybody to Southern Woods and Waters, and this segment is being brought to you by Advanced Chiropractic. Let Norma Jean Fisher or Maurice Consiglio help you keep your spine straight, and it'll help maintain a great, healthy body. I promise you, I'm there. She's helping me slim down, so I'm half the man I used to be. So just gonna keep going back there to Norma Jean and take care of her. Our recipe of the week is being brought to you by Joy over there at Broker Headquarters. She lets me come in and visit her every now and then when she's not too busy. But her and Kimberly actually run Broker Headquarters Group for all your commercial leasing, property management. Give Broker Headquarters a call at 859-6978 or visit them online at brokerheadquarters.com. All right, Joy, what is our recipe of the week? Because you got two good-looking little gals over there to help you do it.
I want to introduce our guests. They're our grandnieces. This is Brooklyn, Bowie in purple. This is Skylar Dupre in our pretty pink. And what do y'all love to do since you've been with Hugh?
Fishing and hunting.
They do. That's fun, isn't it? We went to Kentucky and did a film. That was a lot of fun. Then we get to eat, because Papa always likes to eat.
That's right.
Okay.
Hey, they made a great candy, though, recipe that people can do right there at home.
What is it, Skylar?
Homemade Butterfingers.
Homemade Butterfingers. It is so easy. It really is easy to make. We use candy corn, 3 cups of candy corn. We put 3 cups of the candy corn, just like you buy, right? Put it in the microwave and you melt it. A little bit at a time, stir it because it burns real easily. So just stir it like 15 seconds and then check it. And then you put 1.5 cups of peanut butter, smooth peanut butter. That was easy to do. Mix that in. Put it on parchment paper or your wax paper. Spread it out. We just did it with our hands. And you just spread it out, let it harden. Hugh cut it with a little pizza cutter we have. Just cut it like this in the little squares. Melt your chocolate. These are the bark, the chocolate squares, or you can use the little chips, either one. And you just coat them. They're really good. They are really good. And the girls want to say hi to somebody, Hugh, before you take it back.
Well, let's let them say hi.
They need to say hi. Who are you going to say hi to?
To my daddy.
Your daddy. What about your mom?
Yes.
Your brothers and sisters? What about Mimi?
Yes.
And my brother, Scotty, your granddad, Dad, is right here with you. What about you, Miss Skylar?
My mom and my dad and my grandma and my Mimi and my Aunt Noel and my cousins.
You covered them all. You did, and Shay.
And it's my Aunt Faye.
Yep, and your dad. Thank
All right.
you.
Well, I'll tell you what, you can, huh? They made their debut. I'm telling you, lining out already for to get those autographs right outside. So I guarantee you. Hey, you can get this recipe along with many, many others on our website at southernwoodsandwaters.com. Just click on the recipe section, and Joy's got it just about filled up enough to make another book. So get ready to do that. She's going to do an online book next, not a hardcover, but an online book. So she's already in the works for that. So we look forward to having that out before long. I do want to say that we're talking with Ian Stewart and Jase
Bouldin.
Bouldin. I'll get it right. I promise. If I just get past Jase, I'll be fine. But Jase Bouldin, and they're both with Jackson Kayak, made in Sparta, Tennessee, which is right in our own back door. I tell you what, Sparta's a great little place. I love Sparta. It's just the right size town. I'll tell you what, there's just enough in there to get everything you need, and just enough to stay out of trouble.
And you're close to water no matter which way you go.
Either way you go, north, south, east, or west, you got water around you.
We got a state park on every side.
That's right. That's right. But guys, it's great fishing all the way around. Tennessee is so blessed to have some of the greatest fishing possibilities, capabilities, whatever you might call it, here in the state. Doesn't mean that you have to have an expensive boat to do it. You don't have to have a center console. You don't have to have a skiff. You don't have to have a bass boat that'll run 75 miles an hour, or aluminum boat that'll hold 12 fishing rods up front just to go have fun.
The world inaugural fly fishing muskie tournament was held in the Great Falls this year, and it was open to all boats. And a guy, James McBeth, out of Canada, was in one of our kayaks and won first place.
Oh!
And there was every different, all the toughies and all your every different, your jet boats, and we come up first place floating in kayaks.
Because I'm going to tell you, people aren't thinking necessarily, but I'm sitting here just going, what a great thing to have, even if you do own a bass boat. Like myself, I even own a bass boat. But this is a great thing to get in places where I've always wanted to fish, but I could never get there because of water levels or too many stumps or
no one else is there.
Nobody else goes there, and you can see them back there just wearing out the water. I can back my truck up down some of those dirt roads and
drag the boat to the water.
Drag the boat right to the water's edge, put it in there, and catch some of those monsters.
And these things are really durable. You're not going to break this boat.
No.
These are made out of the same plastic that we make our whitewater kayaks out of.
Okay.
It's very strong.
And those things go off 100-foot waterfalls and don't break. A neat thing about the dragon you mentioned is we have a skid plate on the back. It's probably hard to see in the shot, but so you're dragging your boat, you're wearing out a $10 plate instead of your $1,000 boat. When your skid plate gets tiny, put a new plate on, boat's ready to go again.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, we have got to go right now into our giveaway of the week. And what we have tonight is a bunch of Strike King lures. Now, we got about $25 worth of Strike King lures right here for you. So be the fifth caller at 737-7767. Hey, we can fit you in a kayak, and you can be throwing Strike King tomorrow. Hurry back to more Southern Woods and Water. This calendar of the week is being brought to you by Drycon Carpet Cleaning. Give us a call or visit us online at drycon.com. All right, welcome back, everyone. In this week's calendar, we're looking for this Saturday, September 22nd, Tennessee deer season opens on their archery-only segment. That starts Saturday morning, and a lot of people looking forward to that. Middle Tennessee Crappie Club is going to be out at Tim's Ford. The Devil's Step is the ramp, and it's from 6 a.m. to 1 p.m. Contact Randy Clark at 970-433-0791. And let me tell you something, that is a fast-growing tournament trail that Randy and them are hosting out there. So go try that out. Hey, got to tell you, the second annual Antique Tractor Show is going to be September 22nd, which is Saturday. This Saturday is the Scottsboro, Jordonia Antique Tractor and Auto Club, and that's going to go on. Come out there and see Join I. We're going to be out there at 4550 Eatons Creek Road. That is where Flowers Deer Processing is going to be, or where they are. And so come on out there, and admission is $5. Children 12 and under are free. It got a lot of food, bluegrass music, everything going on. So come on out there and see some of those old-time tractors and steam engines out there. All right, next week, next Saturday, they're going to have Saturday and Sunday. It's going to be a 2-day event out there out of Flippers. This is the Middle Tennessee Bass Classic that Phoenix Boats presents, and along with All Pro Rods, and Miss Jana Beck asked me to mention that. That is $150 a boat. Come on out there, and that is the second part of the two-legged Classic. So that's going on next Saturday and next Sunday out at Flippers. Registration will start sharply at 4:30. So get on out there and get in start on that. Next week's show, we're going to have Judge Rick Wood with the Carl Perkins Bass Classic. Do not want you to forget that. That is going to be taking place on October the 12th and the 13th. That is the Carl Perkins 6th Annual Bass Classic at Perryville Marina. Make your room reservations now. They've already got over 80 boats already into it. It is $21,000 prize money, so you want to be a part of that. It goes for a great cause. And we got about a minute left. I wanted to say thank you, first of all, to my guests tonight. We have Jase and Ian. They're both with Jackson Kayak, made right there in Sparta, Tennessee. Let them know. Call them up. Tell them how much you appreciate them being on the show. Look at their website. Make them some comments. But I'm telling you, once you get into one of these and get to fishing, you'll probably never go to a motorized again. But and even if you do fish like me and you're in motorized, I'm looking forward to getting in one of these and doing some filming and show you what kind of fun a person can have out of one of these.
Let's get out on the river.
We're going to go. Jason and I are going to go. We're going to drag Ian around along. Ian's in charge of the can cooker for a little bit. But,
Yeah.
but thank you, Jason. Thank you, Ian, for that. We appreciate it very much. And we'll see everybody next week right here with more of Southern Woods and Waters. Wear those personal flotation devices. See you next week.